Hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I am starting the live. I know it's going to take people a couple minutes to jump on the call, so I am just going to hang out for a little bit. I hope everyone is doing really well. I'm so excited. I have been thinking about this training today for such a long time. Maybe a week. But I'm so excited to be here. Hey, Jennifer. So as people are coming on, I see more people joining. This is awesome. Marissa, hello. It's so nice to have you. Stephanie, yay. Oh my gosh. A lot of you are like a blast from the past. I love this. This is so much fun to see all these beautiful women coming on the call right now. I'm just giving everybody a couple minutes to get on here. Sherilyn, hello. Awesome. I see some people's names popping up. So if I don't say your name, it's not because I don't love you. I see 7 people watching and, there's Erica. Hey girl. Nice to see you here. I'm so glad that you guys are here. And yeah, definitely let me know. I'm actually wearing a lapel mic and it's connected into my phone. Try to make the audio a little bit better. So hopefully that's working. Mallory, hello. Come on in, girl. Madison, awesome. So nice to have you guys here live. I know not everyone can be here live, but for those of you who are here live, this is awesome. Getting this training live is going to be so much better. Cindy, hey girl. All right, awesome. Hey Mallory. So it's so nice, and I want this to be a conversation in some ways. So please use the comments. Please use the like button. There's Sarah. Hey girl. Please go ahead and let me know if you agree with what I'm talking about or disagree. I want to have a conversation with you guys today because this training is for you. Hey Cass. Yay. Okay, awesome. Linda. Aloha. We got people from all over. Sarah. Hey girl. So nice to see everybody. Yay. So if you see my eyes darting, I'm also just going to let you know, in preparation for this, I had to make notes, right? I got 29 of you to actually fill out the survey questionnaire. And I mean, you guys, the feedback was so awesome. I almost cried reading some of the responses because I could connect so deeply with where you guys are at, and I'm going to share a little bit about my story today and whatnot, but I just want to let you guys know, I'm so excited to support you here, and I'm so glad that you're here watching me live. It means a lot. And for those of you who are able to stay until the very end, I'm actually going to teach you something that has been insanely and surprisingly successful for a lot of my clients who are on this journey. So if you can stay, hey Kate, nice to see you. So if you can stick around until the very end, I'm going to teach you something that has been really incredibly transformative for so many of my clients. And it was something that I never thought necessarily would be, but it has ended up being one of the most important tools that they have in their toolbox in relationship to what I'm going to talk about today. So stick around to the very end. I can't wait to get started. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Emily, hey girl, sister-in-law, love it. So as I'm getting started and as I'm getting on the call, I want to read some of the responses that some of you had to the survey that I sent out. They were really, really powerful. I'm not going to go through everything. And Sarah, it's going to be about 30 to 45 minutes. It really depends on you guys, how many questions you have, because I am going to stay on at the end and answer any questions. So hopefully it won't go over 45 minutes, but I will stay on as long as people need to answer any questions that you have. But I just want to go through some of these responses. I asked the question, can you describe where you are at now and where you want to be with your weight and your relationship with your body? And some of these answers, I can't go through all of them. Hey, Jennifer. But some of the big ones, I'm up about 14 pounds from my lowest and healthiest weight. I would like to lose, but not obsess about food. I need to learn what a healthy relationship with food looks like and how I talk myself through it as I shed unhealthy habits. I'm here for you. Another one, I had baby number 2. Hey, Tori, I've got a couple more people coming in. I had baby number 2. I would like to lose 10 more pounds and be at pre-baby weight. I'm losing weight slowly but surely. Over a year, I've lost 40 pounds, but hoping the last 10 come off and I don't hit a plateau. Another woman said to lose 15 pounds. I don't have confidence in the way I look. I'm here for you. I can't wait to share everything today with you. I hope it helps. I want to heal. I'm approaching 50 and I want to be at peace with my body. Okay? I got you, girl. I recognized recently that my poor eating habits were hindering my body's healing mechanisms. I'm ready to address the behavior behind the eating, and I recognize weight gain has just been a symptom of something else. So, I mean, this is amazing. I'm overweight and struggle to lose even a few pounds. I work so hard, see few results. I would love to be able to get to a healthy weight that I feel good at. I would like to be able to eat a well-balanced, reasonable, and enjoyable diet. I don't want to feel restricted. I don't want to rely on food for comfort. You guys, I'm hearing so many of these things over. Oh, Kaisu, hello. I'm hearing all of these messages from you guys, and the training today is to really help you align with what you're going to need to move forward with your goals. So I'm excited to be here. So thank you guys. Sheila, hey girl. So some of you, it's weird, the way Facebook works. I get when some of you drop in here. Hey Kathy, some of you drop in here, I see your name, and some of you I haven't seen your name. So feel free to say hello. Share with me what you would like to learn more about if I'm not covering what exactly it is that you want. For those of you who filled out the survey, I got so much information, and I'm going to do as much as I can in the time that I have to support you where you are at. So thank you again for being here. And for those of you just dropping in, I want you to know that if you can stay until the very end, hey Ashley, I want to encourage you to stay till the very end. I'm going to teach you guys a secret weapon that I teach a lot of my clients about that has really been transformative. Hey Gina, really, really transformative for helping them connect on some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about today. So you also might see me doing some weird gestures because I flipped the screen. I actually flipped the screen so that you guys could read my writing. That's not perfect, sorry. But so you guys could read my writing, because if you just record a video, everything turns out backwards. So it's like I'm a weatherman reading the screen backwards. So it might look a little weird with my hand gesture. So thank you for paying attention or helping me out with that if I'm doing weird things. So we're going to get started here. I'm so excited. If you guys came to this training today because you're somebody who is, you know, they've dieted for years, they've been controlled with food, thinking that that's the way that they're going to get and reach their goals, specifically to find their healthiest weight, but they're finding that it's just not working, right? Like the diets that worked from in the past are no longer working today, or you're just finding that it's just, you're kind of sick of it. You're just kind of sick of trying to follow a plan, feeling obsessive, controlled by food. You are in the right place. This is exactly where you need to be right now. And I'm so proud of you for taking the time out of your day to be here. So thank you so much for coming on. And if that's not you and you're just here to learn, that's completely okay too. So today we're going to talk about, and I've taken notes, so if you guys see my eyes darting a little bit, just that's why. But I've taken a few notes because I don't want to miss anything. But there's a huge misconception around weight loss, and it's keeping a lot of women stuck where they're at and not able to move forward. And it's hard also, these women that I work with are having these ups and these downs with their weight, right? They're having ups and downs, they're having success, and then they say, I don't have the willpower, I'm regressing, I'm going back to where I was, I can't get the last 10 pounds off. You know, I hear all of these messages from women, and in today's talk, I'm going to talk about why that is and how we can start to address that. I'm also going to share why we do not need a diet plan, whether it be from me, who happens to be a registered dietitian. I've been doing this for about 15 years, but why I actually cringe when people ask for a diet plan and want me to calculate their calorie and their macro needs. Like, I actually cringe. Now, as a dietitian, I believe in nutrition science, okay? I prescribe quote unquote diets to people to help them with their healing, but they can't successfully maintain a quote unquote diet until they've gotten right with their body and right with their relationship with food, which I'm going to get into today. So first, I'm going to teach you how diets are working against us. And then I'm going to go over these 3 secrets, okay? I'm going to give you a little bit about my background too. So the 3 secrets that I'm going to talk about today are, number 1, why ditching keto and intermittent fasting is going to be the long-term solution for reaching your weight goals. Hey Karen, hi, aloha. Hey Deborah, you guys just got in at the right time. We're just getting started with the meat of the training today. So why ditching keto and intermittent fasting? Now you could literally put in any other fad diet, but those tend to be really popular. I heard you guys doing, a lot of you are doing Weight Watchers or low carb, but by ditching those, how those are going to help you actually reach your weight loss goals. Number 2 is how eating what you want without restriction, hey Deborah, without restriction is actually your way to keep weight loss off for the long run. And I see Christine just jumped on. This is awesome. So nice to see you guys. And then the number three secret that I'm going to go over today is, and I can't see it because I'm backwards, but how getting to the root of your relationship with food and body is actually going to save you time. It's going to save you time. Okay, it's going to save you time in the long run, and it's going to save you time in the short run too. Okay, and I'm going to explain that because that's really important. I think we're all really overwhelmed right now. We all feel like we don't have enough time. Okay, but I just want to put a teaser in there. We make time for what's important to us, right? We do. So let me give you a little background about me and my story. I'm going to warn you, when I shared this earlier with myself, I was like walking around my living room talking about this, I actually started crying a little bit. So if I get a little emotional, it's just because I'm so passionate about this work. Like, I can't even tell you how much it means to me. And I haven't shared my story a lot because I felt ashamed in some ways of this journey that I've had. And now I feel like it's the key to my liberation of really helping women start their own journey. So I'm going to share a little bit about my story. Hey, Tanya. Hey, girl. And it started back when I was in high school. Okay. I grew up a dancer. I always, for much of my young life, I was standing in front of a mirror, looking at my body, comparing and contrasting my body to other girls in the studio, and constantly seeing a full body length look at what I looked like. Right. Now, I'm a 6 foot tall woman, so I'm very tall, and I've always felt different than other women because of my height. So when I turned about 18, 19, just after I got into college and was starting, like freshman into sophomore year, I really started seeing that my body wasn't what I wanted it to be. Okay, I was gaining a little bit of weight, freshman 15, people talk about that. And I started to realize that I wanted to take control. So I enrolled in a nutrition class and I started learning about nutrition, and I was like, ooh, this is cool. So I got into it. I started learning about calories, macros, all the things that from a physiological standpoint change the way the body looks, right? So I started applying the things I was learning, and eventually I declared my major in dietetics because I thought that if I knew everything there was to know about what to eat, that I would be able to keep my body shape where I wanted it to be for the rest of my life. Okay? So that's why I became a dietitian right there, is because I wanted control over my body. And again, I was ashamed to admit that until recently, but that's the truth. And I did. I controlled my body, and I got my weight down to, for a 6 foot woman, this is really low. I got it down to 130. It was really low. On a 6 foot frame, that's not enough weight for me, for my healthiest weight. It might be for somebody else who's 6 foot, but not for me. You could see my ribs. You could see, I looked really gaunt in my face. I wasn't feeling my best, but I just kept going to the gym. I kept restricting calories because it was working. And I remember I was in a dance class, and one of my dance teachers, I was in a ballet class in my leotard, and the teacher said, Beth, you look so good. And that fed my ego. And I was like, holy shit, this is working. Sorry, excuse my French, but I was really excited about how well that was working. So I kept on, I kept going. Hey, Lisa, I'm just sharing my story right now, just so you guys understand where I'm coming from and how I came to learn about this information that I hope can literally transform your life like it has mine and the people that I work for right now. Yeah, it's skin and bones, isn't it, Wendy, right? So, fast forward, I let go of some of the restriction I'd put myself under. I did a study abroad towards the end of college, and I started gaining some weight back, was doing okay. But I noticed that over the next 4 or 5 years, I was never diagnosed with anorexia. I don't think I did. I was definitely disordered eating, there's no question. But I did see my body one day in the mirror, and I remember being like, ooh, I don't know if I should be seeing my ribs kind of thing. So I was aware that I was kind of pushing it too far. Typically in anorexia, you continue to see yourself as fat even when you're really thin. So I did see myself as getting too thin. So that was why I made some changes. But fast forward into my mid-20s and I started gaining weight again, right? Like I was enjoying life, probably drinking a little too much. And I started to gain weight. So I got back into the diet mentality. I'm like, okay, I'm a dietitian. I can do this. So I started restricting. Okay, I started restricting, got my Fitness Pal or whatever app it was back then, got my exercise on, top fitness classes, was in the gym probably 2 hours a day. But this time it wasn't working. My body started resisting weight loss. And every time I got on the scale, which was daily, the number started going up. And the more it went up, the more obsessive I became, right? I started restricting more. I started denying myself the foods I loved. I started going to the gym more. And you guys, I remember the day that I stepped on the scale and it was the highest number I'd ever seen. And this is where I get emotional. And I remember how I felt. I felt like a failure because I had all the whats. I knew all the whats. I knew how thermodynamics worked, this idea of calories in, calories out, right? True to a degree, but not when you're working against yourself. And I'll explain that now. But I remember the feeling that I had stepping on that scale and just feeling like a complete failure. I'm sorry. Thanks, Tanya. It is a safe space. That's why I love this group and I love the women in it. So I felt like a failure because of my profession and I was telling people how to eat, but I didn't know how to do it on my own. And I tried all the diets, you guys. I worked with a nutritionist on this really weird diet with a lot of milk and cheese, totally weird. I did HCG. Anybody, tell me if you've done HCG, if you remember what that is. Super starvation mode, terrible for your body, up and down, worst thing ever. I just did a lot of stuff, right? I did a lot of things in resistance to my body. And what I've learned since is that what we resist persists. Okay, I want you to remember that. What we resist persists. It's a law. And Cassie, I feel you, girl. Okay, I feel you. And yeah, thanks, guys. You've heard of HCG. Yeah, it's terrible. Don't even look into it. It's terrible for your metabolism. So, hey, Sarah. Hey, girl. So anyway, I found myself I actually paid money for Chinese weight loss shoes. That is awesome, Lisa. Thank you for admitting this and being here with me. This is awesome. HCG. Yes. Okay. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is good. I don't know if this is a little bit delayed that you guys are responding, but in either case, yeah, it was bad. Okay. And I was at my end of the rope and I was like, this is not working. This is not working. What I learned as a dietitian was not freaking working. Okay. And I had to find another way. And the universe, God, whatever bigger source that you believe in, it talked to me and it offered me an opportunity to learn about something called intuitive eating. And that kick-started my journey into what I'm going to teach you guys about today. It was just a kickstart. It's a piece of the work that I do with my clients, but I saw it as an opportunity to get some continuing education as a dietitian. I thought it looked cool. And you know what? I didn't have anything to lose except for 25, 30 extra pounds of weight gain that I knew my body didn't need to hold on to. And it wasn't about the weight, you guys. And I just want to reinforce that. It never is about the weight. Okay. It's about the self-worth. It's about being seen. It's about being in our bodies. As women, we are so disconnected, we've become so disconnected. The thoughts in our brain are no longer in connection with our body. Okay, and a lot of what I want to work with women and in this group is reconnecting and understanding the physiology between how our thoughts and our emotions actually play into our physiology. It's amazing research, and I can't wait to share more with you. I probably can't do it all today, but it seriously makes so much sense and has literally transformed everything for me. So I started on this journey. At the time, I'd recently gotten my yoga teacher certification. So I was applying that information as well, was learning about all things mindful eating, reading everything I could and really applying this stuff because I wanted to see if it actually worked. Yeah. And it did. It did. And over the next year to 2 years after applying this information and really changing my mindset and my relationship with my plate, I was able to lose weight effortlessly, and I've been able to keep it off for the last 10 years without even thinking about it. I will raise my hand. I eat fast food from time to time. I also love a really yummy kale salad. It's not about what I eat so much as it is how I approach food and how I approach life. Okay, so let's jump in. Thank you guys for listening to my story and holding some space for me just to explain, I've been here and I just really am impassioned to help women who are feeling stuck, who are feeling like what's going to give, feeling like they can't overcome their quote unquote addiction to food or their overeating issues, because I know you can. I know this because I've been there. Okay. I've been there, and through extensive training over the past decade, I'm ready. I'm ready to help you. Okay, so let's get into secret number 1. And I set this up so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so secret number 1, again, my handwriting's not great, but we're just gonna roll with it, you guys. But number 1 is why ditching keto and intermittent fasting, insert low carb, insert Weight Watchers, insert whatever the hell you want in there, are not gonna be a long-term solution, and how for weight loss, or honestly health in general, and how reprogramming your relationship with food and body is going to be the way. And the idea here is that you do not need, you don't need a diet plan to get you to your healthiest weight. You don't, okay? Plain and simple, you can let the diet mentality go right now. The old model of weight loss that we've seen over the years, it shifts and changes, right? There's fear of fat, there's fear of carbs, there's fear of God knows what. There's fear of calories. There's all these fears that circulate, and they're kind of cyclical. If you notice, low fat was probably going to be the next trend coming up, because low carb is big now. So give it about a decade and we'll be back into the low fat. Am I right? I mean, you guys have seen this. You've seen this cycle of all these diets. They kind of cycle through. This is the way. This is the way. No two of us, okay? No two of us, not me, not you. We cannot thrive on the same diet. So anybody who tells you that this is the diet, this is how you should do it, they're false leaders. They don't have the wisdom. They don't understand that we're all individual and we all thrive off of something different, okay? And I want you to give me a high five if you agree with that, or give me a little heart or a thumbs up. Give me something to show that you know that we all thrive on a different diet, okay? And if you don't know yet, okay, I'm glad you're here. So how we, a lot of us have lost our programming, that we were actually born with as a child. And for years of my career, I worked in pediatrics, and I taught moms and dads how to feed their children so their children would become intuitive eaters, right? Thanks, ladies. Yes, you're saying yes. That's awesome. And I spent so many years teaching these families how to help support the natural programming their children were born with. And I want to remind you all that you were children at one time too, and you knew how to eat. Okay, you knew that tonight was the best night to eat a lot of protein, and so you would eat your meat. The next night, hey, veggies looked good, and then the next day they didn't. You were born with this innate ability to know how to trust your body to eat what it needed. And over the years, through societal messages from feminine disempowerment, that we've had, we lose touch with those natural signals, and we allow the messages, the false messages of what it is to be perfect with diet. It's just amazing to think about. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. I can't read them all. They're going too fast, but thank you guys for sharing this. This is amazing to have you guys interacting on this call. This makes my heart so happy. So we're born with these natural tendencies, you guys, to know what we need to eat to be healthy. And we can build trust with food so that we enjoy things that are quote unquote healthy, and also indulge in foods that maybe don't have the nutritional density, but still have incredible, but don't negatively impact our body like we think they will. Okay, so I don't know about you, but when I was in the deep diet mentality, I would look at a piece of cheesecake and get afraid. I would be scared out of my mind, okay? I would be scared out of my mind, and I hear this from my clients, and I work with them through this as well. They're scared out of their mind of food. And I'm going to explain that in secret number 2, what that does to our body. So when we can see this programming, when we can start to be aware of the thoughts, okay, that we're having around food and body, that's when we have the opportunity to reprogram those thoughts, right? We have the opportunity to see that the diets have not been working for us. They never have, they never will. I mean, it's true they might work temporarily, right? Like, it's true they might work temporarily, but they're temporary. If you want long-term weight support, okay, and weight loss being a side effect of health, always and forever, amen, a side effect of getting healthy and right with ourselves mentally and physically, then ditching the diet is the first step we have to take, okay? And I know what you're thinking, okay? You're thinking about all of your past and how you've never been able to do this and trust yourself. So many of you, when you filled out the questionnaire, again, thank you. I got 29 responses from you beautiful women. When you filled that out, you told me that you don't trust yourselves. Like, you're afraid that you're gonna go overboard, you're gonna binge, you're gonna do these things that are going to lead to weight gain. The number one fear, and there was a lot of fears, okay, but the number one fear that came out through that survey was fear of weight gain. Okay, and I get it. And you want to have that control, right? It's normal. It's totally normal to want to have that control. So you're not alone, and you're in the right space, because every woman who's on this call right now, I bet, can agree with you. So please show me some love if you agree that letting go of the diet mentality is not necessarily easy, because it's been something that you've existed with for years, if not decades of your life. And it's not your fault. It's just societal programming. But look, you guys, we have a way out of it. We do. So secret number 2, I think this leads me to secret number 2. I'm just checking my notes to make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, one more thing about programming I just wanted to mention, and that's just the programming that we have about body size, okay? And I'm a huge proponent of healthy at every size. I believe that we have the ability to be healthy at every size. Thank you guys for the love. I love your comments. Thank you. We have the ability to be healthy at every size for sure. There's that hashtag Haes, Haes, follow it on Instagram if this interests you. But the thing is, we've been programmed by society to equate thin to beautiful, okay? Thin to beautiful, or having a certain hair or skin color or whatever. It's ridiculous, right? We all know it is. Deep down inside, we know this is ridiculous. And if you go around the world, if any of you have traveled, you know that body beauty comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, all the things, right? I mean, give me a hello, hell yes, if you agree with me, okay? Because it's true. I mean, I traveled in Asia, I traveled, and women's bodies were more voluptuous and more cushioned, were way more beautiful. Like, you wanted to have some extra weight on your body because men found that really attractive, right? It's just like, we're really messed up in America. We're really messed up in the US, and reframing our relationship with our body by reprogramming that can be essential to us finding acceptance now, so that we can still have goals, you guys. We can still have goals, and it's okay to want to lose a few pounds, especially to take the pressure off the joints and live your healthiest life, for sure. But it's about accepting our bodies now before we can allow the space for our body to actually move that direction, okay? Yes, love you guys so much. I can't see hearts. They don't show those anymore on Facebook Live, so I hope you guys are enjoying this. This gets me to secret number 2. And secret number 2 is how eating what you want without restriction. Okay. Thank you so much, Cindy, for sharing with us. I'm not able to respond to everything, but I see your guys' comments coming through. Okay, let me start over. How eating what you want without restriction actually helps you lose weight and feel body freedom. Okay. And the idea here is that even if you've never lived your life without food rules, okay, or if you feel like you can't trust yourself, okay, if you feel like you can't trust yourself around food and body, and you're afraid to let go, you still can. It's possible for you, okay? You can still reach your healthiest weight by enjoying food. And in fact, I teach more on this, probably not today, but I teach more on how actually the feeling of pleasure actually activates hormones in our body that help support metabolism and digestion. And on the flip side of that, stress, okay? Stress from food And I'm not talking about the stress from making a dinner, but I'm talking about the thoughts, okay? The thoughts and the emotions that pop up when we are thinking about food. Okay, and especially when we're a diet mentality, we're thinking good food, bad food, we're separating things black and white. That elicits stress in the body, and that stress directly influences something called our autonomic nervous system. And the sympathetic side, or the fear and flight side of that autonomic nervous system, switches on. Okay, when our thoughts are fear-based and scared, it's a survival thing. We have it in us for a reason. So don't feel bad if you feel fearful around food. You've been trained, you've been programmed to feel that way. And so you feel this, the parasympathetic nervous system shut down, the sympathetic nervous system is turned on, and when that becomes chronic, that elevates hormones in our body like cortisol and insulin, okay, that actually are fat resistant or weight loss resistant hormones, okay? When we have cortisol and insulin circulating in our bodies, our physical body doesn't want to let go of weight. It's protection, okay? It's protection. And it's not part of, we want to actually activate relaxation through our parasympathetic nervous system, okay? We want to activate our parasympathetic nervous system so that we feel at ease, and our metabolism and our digestion and everything else follow suit. Hey, Lindsay. Hey, girl. See some of you guys popping in and out. So it's just amazing to think about the physiology of our body is actually shifted and changed and transformed due to the thoughts and emotions in our head. Okay, so it's really important that we understand and recognize that obsessive thoughts around food, programmed into us from an early age because of the diet mentality so prevalent in our culture, lead directly to stress, which leads to an increase in hormones that actually inhibit our ability to metabolize our food well. Those of you with IBS and digestive issues, you've been to the doctor. I mean, tell me if this is you. You've been to the doctor. You tell them you've got gas and bloating and all this stuff going on in your gut. And they're like, well, there's nothing wrong with you, right? They're like, all your tests come back fine, right? And they put this label on you called IBS. And I guarantee most of the women that I've worked with who I've taught this information to, right? Most of the women that I've taught this information to, they actually come back and tell me, it was when I learned how to relax around food, start eating what they want, okay, that my IBS symptoms completely disappeared. I mean, like, and Cindy, I see you say you've been diagnosed with Crohn's, and this information is going to support any digestive disorder, but with Crohn's, it's a little different. There's a immune response that's a little bit different in how we approach it. This will help. Like, this is by far like the first step I take with any of my patients. Hey, Lindsay. Yeah, you have to catch the first half if you just joined. It's been good, right? Have you guys really enjoyed this so far? I hope you have. But when you have like an autoimmune dysfunction, like Crohn's, you know, this stuff actually supports healing for sure, like no doubt in my mind. But it also, there's also sometimes that's where I interweave like some more medical nutrition stuff to help support the gut healing and everything like that too. So okay, looking at my notes really quick. So anyway, the idea here is that you can actually achieve weight loss if that's your goal without starving yourself, okay? Without starving yourself or restricting yourself from the foods that you like nourish your heart and soul, right? When I was in diet mentality, I totally like avoided brownies and I don't know, beer, like things that I actually really, really like. Sarah, okay, no worries. I'll see you if you can watch the rest of the recording later. And for those of you who guys can stay till the end, I'm going to teach you guys a technique that I teach all my clients that's really been transformational for them. So stay tuned if you can. Get back to work if you have to. I'm losing my train of thought a little bit, but we can eat food under that influence of relaxation and pleasure. We can actually change the way that our body metabolizes that food. And this is so powerful. This was hugely powerful for me. I have a great story with one of my clients. She came to me after we worked together in some group sessions, and she's like, Beth, I'm terrified. I just lost like 30 pounds and I'm terrified. We're heading into the holidays and I'm going to gain all my weight back, right? Have you guys ever had that fear, right? Like, have you had that fear? I don't know if you have, but I know I have, right? And what I know is that I told her, I said, client, I'm not going to use names, but I said client, you have to make the decision that you're not going to gain weight. Make the decision now, eat with pleasure, activate vitamin P. Vitamin P is pleasure, okay? Activate that. And I taught her some techniques to do that. And she came back in January and she said, Beth, what you said to me in that session, like it literally transformed everything for me. I didn't gain a pound over the holidays. And I have a little bit more trust in my body, right? Like it's powerful. This stuff is so powerful. She enjoyed a cookie on the holidays, decided she wasn't going to gain weight because of it. That was activating her parasympathetic or her relaxation response. And it did powerful things for her body. Okay. So, a couple of you guys with ulcerative colitis, some different colitis. I see some different things on here, you guys. So information is actually going to be really powerful for you as well. If you're dealing with any chronic issues, this is a base layer. So when I'm working with a client who has an autoimmune or digestive disorder, like this is kind of the root, right? Like if we want long-term change in our body, we've got to get right with our relationship with food and body first. A lot of us do. Not all my clients, but most of them do, especially the women. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing here. So the idea of secret number 2, just to recap, is that you can enjoy your food through and through and still reach your goals with weight and body. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my God, reprogramming my body after years or decades, that's not possible. Like this is going to take too much time. I'm already stressed by all the things in my life. Like I can't even imagine what it means to have to reprogram. But I want to show you, and the idea here is that you can actually reprogram your relationship with food and body. And in the long run, it's going to save you a crap ton of time. Okay. Let's get to this secret real quick. So how getting to the root of your relationship with food doesn't require a lot of time and actually saves your time. Yes, Tanya, I'm already at my heaviest. Might as well start enjoying life. Hell to the yes, girlfriend. That is present moment acceptance right there, girl. I'm so proud of you. So number 3, getting to the root of your relationship with food. I hear so many people say, I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, but I want to ask you a question. How much time have you already been spending? Okay, how much time have you already been spending thinking about food? And I'm not talking about planning a meal plan for your family or chopping the vegetables before dinner. I'm talking about the time and energy that you have invested in calorie counters and learning a new diet and thinking about, that restaurant. You're going to a restaurant with your girlfriends, right? And you're like, oh my God, I got to think about what I'm going to eat. Can I go out? I remember in college, I refused to hang out with my girlfriends at the dorm at night because they would always order Pokey Sticks. And Pokey Sticks were from these amazing cheese breadsticks from this pizza place in town. And I would find excuses not to hang out because I didn't want to be around the delicious Pokey Sticks because I was afraid that I would eat too many and gain weight. Right? Like this is real stuff. This is thought behavior that can be transformed. And I spent so much time in my head about food that, okay, Mallory, you remember Pokey Sticks from Iowa State. So if anyone went to Iowa State, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, Pokey Sticks, delicious. I can still taste them. I did eat them occasionally, but they're so good, weren't they? So anyway, sorry. So if you the time that you spent researching diets, figuring this out, I want you to think about how many hours a day, and I want you to put in the comments if you have just a general idea, how many hours a day do you spend thinking about food? Okay. Oh, U of I. Okay, cool. Yeah, I went. Oh, they had them. Yeah, they were a chain in Iowa. So, So how many minutes, how many hours a day do you spend thinking about food? Maybe you don't know. Sometimes this is just bringing this awareness to the forefront that's really powerful. Oh gosh, I really do think about food a lot. Oh wow, my friend was telling me about low carb and I've had to go research that and decide if it's right for me. This is all time that we take away from our purpose and our power as women to spend thinking about food. right? And it's not fair and it's not okay. And I know that when I transformed my relationship with food and body, that I actually got a lot of time back, right? I got a lot of time back all freaking day, Stephanie, all of them. Word. Thank you guys. Yes. It's just, okay, Cindy, about 4 to 4.5 hours. I mean, you guys, this is real, right? So for those of you thinking to yourself, I don't have the time, you don't not have the time, right? Like, that's how I feel about this. Like, you have so much more in this lifetime. We only have one lifetime, right? Maybe some of you think we have more lifetimes. It doesn't matter. We're in this lifetime right now, and we only experience it once. And I want everyone on this call or everyone on this training to experience life to the fullest. And if you're spending half of your day thinking about food, this is not okay. Okay. I don't even think about, I think about food because I'm thinking about helping you, but I don't think about food all day long anymore. I haven't for years. Okay. I love a good recipe. I love cooking. I love like researching that, but it's been years, if not a full decade, since I've really like let food consume me. And I want that for you too. And I know it's possible. So, a lot of this is because, to save time, I would eat the same thing every day, which, good. Okay, so Christine said, to save time, I would rather eat the same thing every day, which eliminates any pleasure that comes with food. I mean, yeah, right? Like, these monotonous diets work because they're easy, but we're not activating all of our pleasure organs when we're eating those foods. And by pleasure organs, I mean sight. I did a Facebook Live in this group on the 7 types of hunger. Go back and listen to that if this is curious to you, but it's about the different types of hunger that we have in our body and how activation of all those types of hunger actually increases satisfaction. So anyway, that's another training, but the idea here is that, when you embrace this, when you are ready to step in and do the work, okay, when you're ready for that, that's when transformation happens, and it saves you time because you're not thinking about food all the time. You're actually stepping into a new era for yourself. You're stepping into your power, and you're saying hell no to the diets. You're saying, I say yes to me. I say yes to my family. I say yes to my passions. I say yes to my work. And in return, like, you give so much back to the world, don't you? Like, you give so much back. So anyways, so that's number 3. How are you guys doing so far? Let me know in the comments how this is all landing for you. Do you resonate with it? Is this like totally off track? Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about this information so far, if it's been helpful, if it hasn't been helpful, or if you have questions, you can start rolling the questions in now as well. But number 3 was just to talk about how, we get to decide where we put our time and energy. And if it's into turning our relationship with food and body around, it's going to save us a ton of time in the long run. Awesome. Resonating. Thank you guys. I'm so glad that this is working for you. So I do have a question. Oh, actually, okay. Let's recap real quick. So number 1, I don't even have my stuff. Oh, I'm going to hold it. It's all sticky. Secret number 1 was why. I showed you why ditching, keto and intermittent fasting are the long-term solution to reaching your health goals. How eating, what you want without restriction actually helps you keep the weight off and feel food and body freedom, and how getting to the root of your food and body issues actually saves you time. Woohoo! Oh, Cindy's snacking on some rice cakes. Go girl. They're really good with avocado and salt on them. I don't know. It's like one of my favorite snacks. Rice cakes with a couple slices of avocado, some sea salt, that everything bagel stuff from Trader Joe's. Has anyone had that, like, seasoning that from Trader Joe's that you dump on things? It's so good. We'd recently moved back to the mainland. I used to live in Hawaii and Germany before that. And like having Trader Joe's nearby, it's so fun because I love their everything bagel stuff. Anyway, totally side tangent. Didn't have anything to do with what I'm talking about. But that was the recap. So I hope that was helpful. And I just want to ask you guys a question. If you had the choice, okay? So if you had the choice, if you feel like this stuff resonates with you and you're like, yeah, that's like totally me. I have a question for you. Do you want to do that on your own? Are you ready to embrace this information? Do it on your own. Go find a whole bunch of books about the topic and learn and research whatnot. Or would you find it helpful to have the support of somebody to guide you through, somebody who's done it before, somebody who has a community that can support you and hold you in this space as you move forward with your health and body? I'm curious. So if you're the first option, if you're somebody who loves education and feels like they can do it on their own, type a 1 in the comments. And if you're the other person who wants support and guidance and love on this mission to feel the best in your body and learn how to tap into what's true for you, type a number 2 in the comments for me, and I'll just give you guys some time to do that. I'm just curious, like, is this something you can do on your own? I mean, it certainly probably is, right? But will it take you extra time? Erica says, I need support. Tanya, she says yes. Cindy says yes. Gina, you've got this. Girlfriend, that's awesome. Christine says yes. She is looking for support. Mallory says awesome. Support would be super cool. Deborah says 2. So I'm seeing a lot of 2s rolling in, and this is awesome. This is my passion, you guys. I love this stuff so much. I love supporting women, elevating them on all the ways. And I want to just throw this out there. This is for those of you on this call who are ready. You know, this is not everyone. I am not for everyone. But for those of you who are ready and interested in taking the next steps, transforming your relationship with food, really, okay? And you want that support, I'm going to invite you next week. I've got 5 spots on my calendar to serve and support those of you through a food freedom strategy call. And Joe Bell, my assistant, I hope he's still listening. He's going to drop the link to schedule that call with me. It's about a 45-minute call. I just want to talk to you. I want to hear from you. I want to walk you through, see if you're somebody who needs that extra support, if you can do it on your own. So if you feel like, gosh, I would really love someone to hold my hand to support me with this, and you want to jump on a call with me, like I said, I've opened my schedule up next week. I have about 5 spots available for these calls. And because of the way that I support my clients, I don't believe in like one and done sessions, right? Like I give so much love to the people that I work with. I can't serve everyone. I just don't have the time. Like, I'm a mom, you guys know, like there's stuff to do. We're moving to Colorado Springs in a couple months, but I love this work so much, and I want to make this offering to you. If you want to hop on a call and just learn about how this work can really support you, I would love to do that. So hopefully the link will be dropped in here soon. So Joe Bell, if you can hear me, please drop the link in to schedule a call. Go ahead and schedule that call for next week, and we can get on the phone and chat about what you need in this mission. Like, what are the specific components of this that will really help you move forward? Okay, and Tanya says, I've benefited a lot from this work. Thank you, Tanya. You're one of my babies. Okay, you're one of my babies. That sounded so weird. That's awkward. Sorry, I take it back. Okay, so there it is. The link has been dropped in, so you can schedule that right now if you'd like. Yeah, I'd love to support you. So when the sessions are gone, we'll take down the link, but hopefully you guys can get in before they're gone, because I'd really, really love to be there for you. Lisa, Beth has been amazing. Yay, down 40 pounds. Lisa, I'm so proud of you. You and Tanya have been amazing. All of my clients, I work with the coolest women. Like, really, I was talking to a girl last week, and I'm like, it was one of our last sessions together, and she was like, I was like, I just love you so much. I just don't want this to end. And she's like, I know, I don't want this to end. It was so cute. It made my heart like really happy. So I love my people so much. So anyway, the point is, grab that link. Joe Bell, go ahead and post it again just in case it gets lost in the feed. I'd love to make sure you guys can see it, and I'll post it separately. Oh, I already have a request came in. I got a notification. Yay, Christine, I'm going to get on the phone with you. I'm so excited. Okay, so what was I going to say next? Sheila says, this program is the end all amazing. Thank you, Sheila. Love it. Thank you, Joe Bell, for posting that link again. Love that. So I promised you, if you stuck to the end, that I was going to teach you the thing, right? The thing that has helped so many of my clients. And this is about awareness and connection and curiosity. And this is a breath. Okay, so what I'm going to do now to kind of close out the session today, and I'm sure I've gone way over time because I'm sweating in my armpits, and and I'm like, oh, I get so excited, I need a fan or something. But this breath really helps us actually bring down cortisol. Okay, it helps us bring down the insulin response. It helps us relax and get present in the moment so that we can get present with our food. A lot of people use this right before a mealtime, but you know what? Oh, Madison, yay. Oh my gosh, so many. It's so cool. I like can see the notifications coming in. So, what was I going to say? I can't even think. Anyway, you can use this as a tool for right before you, Erica, yay, awesome lady. I can't wait to talk to you. This tool is so helpful before a meal and then also in transitions in life, right? So maybe you just have this major transition in life, okay? Like going from work to, not like, moving to a different country, but like your transition between work and play with your kids, right? Like, and oftentimes we can like bring our work into our play with our kids. I know I've had that moment, and it's like this breath helps cut and make a nice clean slate. So our transition into the next segment can be really, really mindful and intentional. So the breath is really simple. It's an inhale for 4, it's a hold for 7, and it's an exhale for 8. And it's called the 4-7-8 breath. And I don't know what it is. I started teaching clients this, and they all come back to me and they're like, Beth, this is like the coolest breath ever. Like, it does everything for me. So it just like helps people feel really present and really mindful. And it's just, I don't know, it's just amazing. So let's do it together. We're going to do 4 rounds of the 4-7-8 breath. So if you guys are with me still, go ahead and take a seat if you're not already sitting. Close your eyes. I just want you to get into your body. I want you to start breathing, and I want you to really sense the body because, like I mentioned before, women are so disconnected in this country from their physical body. We're all in our head, and this is our opportunity to really drop in, take a couple breaths just normally, and just feel and sense the body. I just want you to feel it and just be in it. Okay. And everyone who's listening, go ahead and exhale all the air from the lungs. And I'll count with you for the first 2 rounds and then be silent for the second 2 rounds. So let's breathe in 2, 3, 4, and hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, out 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do 2 more at your own count. Finishing your last round now. And after you fully allowed yourself to exhale, when you're ready, reawaken your senses, take a deep breath and open your eyes. All right, so that's the 4-7-8 breath. Sometimes still tapping my heel right now. Can you see that? That's the 4-7-8 breath. It's kind of weird to draw the inhale to be shorter than the exhale. It takes a little practice, but once you get the hang of it, I used this breath right before I got on this live. Okay, admittedly, like this being live is usually not a problem for me, but I just had so much to share today that I wanted to be fully present. By the way, drop your questions. You guys drop any questions that you have in the chat box. Araceli, no worries if you couldn't join earlier. You are going to love the recording that will be posted for a couple days here in the Mindful and Intuitive Eating for Women group. So, if you have any friends, so say you loved today and you thought it was helpful, please invite your friends into this group. This is a safe and welcoming environment to learn more and just be supported through this process because it is a journey, it is a process. And I really want to create a really nourishing, welcoming space where I'm giving you guys what you want, the tools that you want. So, Linda, good, you learned the 4-7-8 breath. Yeah, it's actually a science-based breath. Like you can go on PubMed and there's like a research study on it. So this is not my own. I want to say it was actually developed by Andrew Weil, who's like a holistic integrative health practitioner. But this breath, I'm telling you, I started teaching it to my clients and it's just been like their favorite thing. So I hope that it can help and support you It's also a really great breath to do when you find yourself being really critical of your body. So you're looking in the mirror, you're seeing the imperfections, and you start to feel that stress response kick in, right? Like, who hasn't looked in the mirror? Even to this day, you guys, like, I'm not perfect. I'm still on this journey myself. Like, I'll look in the mirror and be like, oh, like that is blah, blah, blah. And I hear this dialogue, but the difference is that I can like transition. I can pivot that dialogue into something better. And this breath awareness practice can actually be that for you. It can help you pivot and transition your thoughts so you can see them, thank them, release them, and move on. So Araceli, you can totally come back. You guys pop your questions in. I think the questions, at least for me to see them, are just a little tiny bit delayed. So I'm just going to give you guys a couple minutes. I want to know if you guys got out of today's training what you were expecting, what you were hoping and wishing. Like I said, 29 of you filled out the questionnaire. So I tried to build the content for this training to really touch on what's important to you. And just really serve and support you where you guys are at, because I know that this journey is not easy, and I know that there's a way out of it as well. I know that there's this beautiful opportunity for us to grow and be better for ourselves and better for those around us as a result, right? So yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of minutes. I haven't seen any questions come in. Gina, you're welcome. I am so glad that go get back to work if you guys need to get at work. I don't even know what time it is. Thanks for being here, Gina. Anybody else? Thank you guys so much for your time. Oh, good, Cindy. I received more than I thought I would. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm so, so grateful. And for those of you guys who have filled out scheduled the strategy session, there is an application form tagged onto, like you should be redirected to another page on a website. And it will it's just a short one. It takes like 5 minutes, but it just helps me understand before we jump on a call, like where you are at, because on this Facebook Live, obviously, I don't know exactly where you are at. Some of you filled out the questionnaire, but I can't tell whose responses came from who. Sheila, oh, I love you. I love you so much. Tanya, Cass, oh, I love you guys so much. Oh, it hurts my heart. I can kind of scroll this. So, yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Okay, well, if there aren't any questions, type them in later. You can always use the forum to type in a question. So type in a question later if you need to, if you think of something after the fact. But it was my pleasure to be here. Oh, Kathy, you're welcome. I know. Makes me love you more if that's possible. I know. Well, and isn't it funny how the things that leave us so vulnerable are actually the things that help us connect with others, right? Like, I was so vulnerable to share that story with you guys, but holy crap, if it can help and serve and support you, that's all that matters at the end of the day. So you're welcome, Madison. It's so nice to see you. We miss you in Cheyenne so much. I don't get to see anybody in the school now because of COVID, but I miss seeing your beautiful face. So thanks for being here. All right, you guys. Well, I don't see any other questions rolling in, so I'm going to turn off the camera and say aloha and farewell. For those of you who I haven't seen for a while, I want to give you a big virtual hug and stay in contact. Let me know if you need anything at all. Okay? All right. Bye, guys.